Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our Songland reaction. This is for the third episode of the season. H.E.R is the artist that is there, and we have a number of different people, of course, coming in with their songs. We'll break down the winning song in Raquel Castro's Wrong Places. If you recognize her, there's a reason for that, and we'll talk about that as well.
Outside of her role in Jersey Girl.
Yeah, there is more to Raquel Castro than Songland and Jersey Girl, and we'll also go through the other songs and some of the notable ones. Before we dive in, though, if you guys do like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any other updates.
So this was the first episode that we've had this season where there was an actual debate on what song was actually going to be picked by the artist, by H.E.R. Because we saw before, Champagne Nights. There was no way that wasn't getting picked.
Know.
Then we had Sway the last episode, and we've been singing that all week long. It was just so catchy. This is the Sway dance.
This is the Sway dance. Yeah, there you go.
No, it was so catchy. So, we've been singing that all week.
Yeah.
And then this came up where it was like, even all four artists. I know we lost Millie before everybody went forward into the final three. But I was just, every song that was coming out, I was like, I could see her singing this. I could see her singing this. Man, every song feels like it could be a win for her.
This actually, it does feel like the first episode, too, where everyone was kind of cast appropriately.
Yep.
In terms of the songwriters. I think they all kind of understood who H.E.R is as an artist, what she's trying to bring to the table, and I mean, it's been kind of unfortunate for us. The first three artists that are entering Songland this season aren't people that we have the greatest musical familiarity with.
Yeah, I don't know her all that well, to be fair. I've said this in other videos, just so you guys know. I'm a bit stuck in a time warp, so like 50s and 60s, a little bit of 70s, that's really where I fall. I really love bluegrass and stuff like that. But it was great to get to know her and her music because, she does have a really nice voice. There's just great storytelling in her songs. I mean, she's someone that I'm going to go and look up even more.
Yeah, I liked getting to know her a little bit more as the artist at the heart of this episode. And it's one of the situations where I've heard of her a number of different times, but I haven't really taken some sort of deep dive into her music. I think she really kind of expressed who she is really well on Songland, and that sort of made this whole episode work, because then you had sort of a pivot point for everyone else, these songwriters, to try to get to. But I will say this as my big take kind of from the get-go here. I don't think the right song was picked. I'll get your take on this before I dive into anything else. Do you agree or disagree?
It's so weird because I just said that I feel that every song could have fit with her, and I still feel that way. It's hard to say for me that Wrong Places was the wrong song because it does fit with her. And actually, when they brought in the drums and everything else, I felt it come together as a full piece where I was just like, okay, this feels really good with her. But Scary, even Safe Place, I know she didn't go further, but I thought that was a great pick. How Could You Not Know? I mean, what a great song. This was a tough one. So when she said, this is really hard for me, I was like, yeah, man, this is the first time this season. I don't know which one.
I would have gone with Scary. I thought that Axel Mansoor's song was really cool and memorable and different. It kind of had a different sort of spin on this particular subject matter than what I've heard before. And I thought she could have done a really cool rendition with it. It was a sleek song, and had like this interesting slinky quality to it. I could see it playing really well on the radio. It was really catchy. Like, I have it in my head more. But granted, I am also not her. She probably has a very sort of keen eye as to where she wants her direction as an artist to go, because I sort of thought the same thing with the Jonas Brothers way back when they were on. And they picked a song that I think has just completely obliterated everything in terms of YouTube views. the moral of this story is, what do I know other than just the guy who watches television?
No, I really liked Axel, and I think that was the whole thing. I actually just liked Axel as an entire artist. I loved his voice. I loved his song. And I just loved him when they were starting, because we don't really necessarily get to know a lot about these artists, these songwriters, as sort of the songwriters that they are. I mean, we learned a little bit about Raquel, where it was like, oh, I was in Jersey Girl, and then I didn't really do anything else. But then with Axel, it was like, oh, I've lived all over the world. I've been here, and I ended in LA. I'm just like, this is a really cool story. So as far as someone as I was invested in, I was just invested in Axel. There was no way to not be.
He was just cool. I liked his fashion. I liked how he carried
Yep.
himself on stage. He was different. I thought his song was really, really different. But
It was good.
Maybe Axel, you put Scary out on Wine yourself. I think you'll get plenty of traffic with it as it is.
He's got a great voice. I agree. I think that this show hopefully is going to put him into the limelight a little bit, even if it is through YouTube or Spotify or something else.
Yeah, I think Raquel's song was very good, and I'm not slamming her by saying that I would have chosen Axel's, but I think Wrong Places, it had a lyric that was interesting and it was easy enough to understand. I think her new version of it was really cool twist on the original. Ryan injected a lot of stuff in there.
Yep.
Raquel is familiar, I think, to some of you NBC viewers, because you get back in a time machine all the way back to season 1 of The Voice, and Christy was on Christina Aguilera's team. She ended up making it to kind of the first stages of the live show, so maybe you remember her for Jersey Girl, but I have not seen Jersey Girl, so I cannot really even comment on Jersey Girl whatsoever.
Yeah, it was kind of an interesting story to hear her talking about that, to kind of be like, oh, I had this part in Jersey Girl, and then I thought things were gonna expand from there, as many actors do and many performers do. You get your sort of first break, and then you think, okay, it's the beginning, I get some momentum, I'm gonna get going, and then when it stalls out like that, it can be really devastating. But then, yeah, she's now also been on The Voice. So, I mean, her career didn't just stop. And she's clearly a very good songwriter. I mean, there's more for you, Raquel. Like, it is not over.
I think this is definitely her lane. I think as a lyricist, I think that is sort of her strong suit from what I saw within this episode, that she conjures up a lot of emotions into what she's doing. I think she writes really well. I think with especially her and Ryan sort of working together, they produced something that appealed really, really well to her. And here's the kind of the difficult thing about this season right now is that I'm guessing they filmed this pretty close to sort of when everything started to shut down for filming.
Yep.
It's either that or her and Lady Antebellum, like, they're not really able to record the winning songs for a while, because at the end we saw her perform Wrong Places, and it was cool.
It was cool.
It also did feel like she was at home and kind of remotely. She wasn't able to actually record the song as she probably would have.
Yeah, because the thing that really brought Wrong Places from like a good song to a great song was partially bringing in the band and the drums and all that. It just gave it so much more of a feel. And then, yeah, we got to see her playing it a bit stripped down again, where it was kind of almost brought back to where it first was, where it was just her and sort of a guitar feel to it, which I liked as well. I mean, it is kind of interesting because it does feel like we had this recorded before everything happened, and now we have some of these performances after everything has happened, and it's quite a weird marriage.
And I don't know if this is going to be the same all season or different, because I'm sure they probably filmed some of these out of order. Maybe some people got to finish their songs a little bit differently. I'm sure her will put out a full version of Wrong Places at some point, and this isn't really going to be it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wondering if maybe it's also just a bit contractual, because, yeah, they filmed it, but I'm sure that takes time after that for the artists to be able to get together the contracts, to be able to buy the songs, or whatever they're doing with the songs, so that they're able to then go and record. It takes a long time to record something, and it's a lot of work. So I mean, I understand kind of what's going on here.
Well, hopefully we'll get to hear a more just finished version of Wrong Places by her down the road. The big news that sort of came out is that Lady Antebellum has actually sent out Champagne Night for radio, which I think that might be
That's exciting.
Yeah, I think that might be the first song from Songland that's actually been put out as a radio single or something like that. So,
that's going to be a hit. The first time I heard it, it was that is a hit.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident about it too. So I guess finally we'll talk briefly about Jocelyn's How Could You Not Know? Because I think Jocelyn's got a killer voice. Like, she really... We saw with some of the other people, especially Millie, who she said she's not really a singer more so than she's a songwriter, where there's a natural sort of timidness that comes out. But Jocelyn came in. It just felt like, whoa, okay, you are a singer. You've got a really big voice. I think she really could just go and carry this song through on her own.
And I loved the story behind it, because her does feel like an artist that's really about the story and storytelling. And so having that song, when I heard sort of, what it's about and sort of loving somebody and, how could they not know that I love them so much? I was like, wow, this is definitely going to be a contender for her, because it is such a deep story that so many of us, all of us have been a part of, where we're like, man, I love this person so much. And, they don't know. Do they really not know? Like, I was like, this song is great.
Yeah, I think it is super relatable to a lot of people. And that's the thing that's so fun about this show, is that you come out of it and you sort of say, okay, Jocelyn, she didn't get it this time. Axel didn't get it this time. And you want to believe, all right, there's going to be some artist who sees this show and loves what they did and is going to want to bring them on board for something. It's just a feel-good show.
Well, that's also what I thought was so cool about her when she was talking to Millie, and she was like, listen, you and I, you're not going through right now, but you and I, we're going to do something together. I was just like, that's the win right there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't get my song done by her, but I get to record something with her. That's incredible.
Yeah, I think that's really the thing. It's not a cliche, cheesy thing to say. I think there really are no real losers on this show.
Yeah.
Unless you just sort of came out and you just did the sway dance and you didn't actually have any music to go with it. And in that case, that would have been me if I was on Songland. I just would have went in, did the sway dance, and then left.
Instead, you guys get to watch that here, where we're all doing this.
Yeah, I know. You've seen it like 4 times now. You're all welcome, and thank you guys for watching this video. Let us know in the comments if you think that Raquel Castro's song was the best, or if you would have picked another one if you were her. And if you did like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.